It's funny. Some people just walk into a room and seem to command respect, right? And then there are others who just seem to get walked all over. Today, we're going to get into the hidden architecture of respect, and more importantly, how you can start building it for yourself. So let's get real. If you feel like you're constantly giving and giving and giving, only to find more people lining up with their hands out, well, let me tell you something. This is not just bad luck. It's definitely not a coincidence. See, there's a pattern here, a kind of invisible blueprint. And I promise you, once you see it, you will never, ever be able to unsee it. It's going to change how you view every single interaction. All right, so to really get this, we have to start by looking at the pattern. And what's wild is that it usually starts with things that seem, well, really good. Things that look a lot like just being a kind, generous person. Tell me if any of this sounds familiar. You're the one everyone can count on, right? You're always available. You're the first to say yes when someone needs help. You'll move your own plans around, and you never complain. And look, you're not doing it for any bad reason. You're just trying to be a good friend or a good coworker, a good person. But what's the result? You're the one left feeling completely drained, ignored, used. And it all boils down to that one single, incredibly frustrating question just bouncing around in your head. Why does this keep happening to me? So what is the real reason? Okay, here is the absolute core of it all. The problem isn't just other people being difficult. The problem is in the invisible signals that you are sending out. You see, disrespect isn't an attack out of nowhere. It's almost always a response. And this reframes everything. Because you can't go around demanding respect. You can't argue someone into respecting you. It just doesn't work that way. Respect is something that people detect. They pick up on it from your actions, from your behaviors, from how you carry yourself. Think about it. People are watching all the time. They see how quickly you say yes. They notice that you seem almost afraid to disappoint them. They see you show very little resistance to, well, anything. You get a text and boom, you reply instantly, even if you're swamped. You sacrifice your own time over and over again. Now, each of these things might seem small, but together, they're sending a giant flashing neon sign that says, my boundaries are totally flexible, and honestly, my time just isn't as important as yours. And here's the kicker. This whole thing rarely starts with some huge, dramatic act of disrespect. No, it starts small. It's like a little test. Someone pushes a boundary just a tiny bit. And when you don't say anything, when you let it slide, you've just taught them something. You've taught them that the line can be moved. You are literally training people on how they're allowed to treat you. So this brings us to what might be the single most important idea in this entire conversation. A lot of us walk around thinking we're just being kind, but we have to draw a line in the sand between two very different things. Real kindness, that comes from a place of strength, and the other kind of kindness, the one that's actually driven by fear. Okay, let's really break this down. On one side, you've got kindness without boundaries. This is the stuff that's really rooted in a fear of conflict, a fear of being disliked. This is what attracts users and invites pressure, because the message it sends is, hey, my boundaries? Totally flexible. But then over on the other side, you have kindness with boundaries. Now this is the good stuff. It's rooted in self-respect, in genuine care. This is what earns respect and builds real healthy connections. Why? Because the message is completely different. It says, my standards are crystal clear. And this is the tough part to swallow. I know, it's a hard truth. Most people who get taken advantage of are not actually being kind. They're being afraid. The driver isn't generosity, it's fear. Fear of a fight, fear of someone not liking them, fear of letting someone down. And you know what? People can sense that fear, even if they don't consciously realize what it is. Okay, so we get the problem now, right? The big, obvious question is, what the heck do we do about it? So let's get into the practical stuff. Let's talk about the 3 steps to building a whole new foundation for yourself. And this quote just nails the first step. No doesn't need a paragraph. So many of us feel like we have to write a whole essay explaining why we're saying no. But that explanation, that's just an open invitation for them to argue with you. All right, here we go. 3 practical things you can start doing today. Number 1, stop explaining yourself. A simple, sorry, that's not going to work for me, is perfectly fine. You don't owe anyone a dissertation. Number 2, create a pause before you say yes. This is huge. Instead of that knee-jerk, sure, try saying, let me check my schedule and I'll get back to you. That little bit of space, it changes the entire dynamic. And number 3, and this is critical, you have to accept the discomfort. Setting boundaries for the first time is going to feel weird, it's going to feel uncomfortable, but that feeling, that's the feeling of you taking your power back. It's the cost of entry for real self-respect. So what happens when you actually start doing this stuff? What's the end result? Well, what you create is a powerful new reality, and the outcome is actually pretty fascinating. Here's what happens. It's like the ultimate filter for your life. The second you start respecting yourself and showing it through your actions, everyone around you has a choice to make. People who genuinely respect you, they'll adjust. It's no big deal. But the people who were only around because you were easy to take advantage of, poof, they disappear. And here is the absolute best part. Both of those outcomes are a win. Think about it. You either end up with stronger relationships with people who actually value you, or you effortlessly weed out the people who don't. It's a total win-win. And it all starts with building that simple, powerful architecture of respecting yourself first.